Hey everybody, I wanted to come to you today because we just had our champion Zoom meetup, and one of the things that we talked about in this monthly get together was all these hidden gem recipes that are on eatrealamerica.com. You know, the recipes that you might look at and kind of scroll past because you're thinking, Krista, that is a weird combination of ingredients, and you think, how can that be that good? And so that is what I wanted to do, is we're going to periodically come in the coaching tips to show you different recipes that we think are fantastic, and we have gotten member feedback on that people love these recipes, but maybe you haven't discovered them yet, and hopefully this will give you a little inspiration and motivation to give them a try. So the one that I wanted to show you today is one that is a classic of crazy ingredients coming together to be what our members have described as a flavor bursting meal. So this is the Cuban Picadillo. And so a picadillo is a dish where there's meat combined with a ton of spices, and then there's typically garlic and tomatoes. And the Cuban version has raisins and green olives in it. I know, brace yourself. I said raisins and olives living together in a meat dish. And so a lot of times a Cuban picadillo would be served with rice, or even in a tortilla, or maybe with beans. We're gonna do this on top of roasted bell peppers. And so what I did first is I had my oven preheating to 400 degrees, and I took a red, orange, and yellow bell pepper and just sliced those up, and then tossed them with some olive oil, salt, and pepper, spread them out on a baking sheet, make sure they're in a single layer, and roasted those for 20 minutes. It actually ended up being about 25 minutes, so kind of depending on your oven. And so I have got those ready right here. And so then what I did in the skillet, really the first thing that I did is I chopped up an onion, and then you take 1 pound of lean ground beef. You could also use ground turkey or whatever you like. And there were a ton of spices that went into that raw meat, and I kind of massaged it with my hands to get it all mixed together. But those spices, there's chili powder and cumin and oregano and paprika and garlic and onion, and oh my gosh, so good. And when you're putting that together, you are gonna think, there's no way I would normally add this much spice to a meal, but trust me, it is gonna make it flavor popping. And so mixed all that in the meat, and then the first thing in the skillet, I did garlic and the chopped onion just for a couple of minutes, just so you're getting the onion to start to get tender. Then I added the ground beef, and I used my hamburger tool just to kind of break it up, and then let that saute until your meat is mostly cooked through, and then add a can of diced tomatoes, and I used a petite diced tomatoes, did not drain it, so dump the whole can in there, and then a little bit more cumin and oregano, stir that together, and then I know, here's the crazy part, then goes in the green olives, and trust me on this one, if you don't think you like green olives, I would highly suggest that you just try a little bit, or even finely chop them, because once they're all mixed together, you will probably not even know they're there, but they're gonna add amazing flavor. So the green olives and the raisins, and then we used half a cup of red wine. Now, if you don't wanna use red wine, you could actually use a mixture of chicken broth, or chicken or vegetable broth, so some kind of broth, low sodium broth with so if you did about half a cup of broth, then I want you to use about half a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. That would be a really good substitute for the red wine. So mix all that together, bring it to a boil, cover, simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. And so here is what you're left with. And now we have had some members not use the green olives, and they have said they still really like it, but we've also had some members say, as they were putting it together, they thought, Krista, there's no way this is gonna come together and be good. And then they come back and tell me, they're like, well, you did it again, I'm shocked. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your roasted bell peppers, and those are gonna be kind of your base. And then we would put the Cuban Picadillo on top. Oh, it smells amazing. And then, and like I said, you could serve this with rice or whatever. You could put it in a tortilla. But if you want to serve it just like this, then you can sprinkle some fresh herbs. This is chopped parsley on top. And so this is what we're going to have for dinner tonight, along with a modified version of our mood boosting fruit salad, because it's winter and we're ready for spring and we want something that's bursting with flavors. And that salad is so pretty and so flavorful, it will improve your mood. But we didn't have strawberries, so we threw a little bit of pomegranate in there. And we've got blueberries, oranges, walnuts, red onion, and some homemade dressing and flavor-loaded meal. I cannot wait for you to try it, to just trust me and try it, and then please let me know what you think.